Kevin, welcome to Real Vision.
Thanks for having me.
Kevin, I'm really excited to have you here because I think the project you're working on, Rally, is one of the coolest and most interesting things out there. You guys are backed by Coinbase Ventures, A16Z, Balaji Srinivasan. Some of the biggest names in the space are excited about what you're doing. But first, before we get into that, tell us a little bit about your background and your journey to Rally.
I started my career in finance, in investment banking at Deutsche Bank, and enjoyed it, but felt like I wanted to get closer to technology, having gone to school in the Bay Area. So I joined a startup called Telefia, and I loved everything about startups. I loved the pace. I loved, working and trying to understand new technologies and how to apply them to real world use cases. I had a nice exit from Telefia and became a VC, actually investing in startups in the mid 2000s. And that was kind of the period of Web 2. And I invested in a number of different Web 2 and internet consumer companies. And from there, I said, you know what, I want to jump in and start my own company. So I started a company called Kabam in 2006, which was a gaming company, kind of pursuing a passion totally outside of finance, and ran that company as the founding CEO for 11 years. And grew it to $400 million in revenue, over 500 million players all around the world, kind of at the beginning parts of social gaming and mobile gaming, and had a blast building that business. Ended up selling it to Korea's largest gaming public company, Netmarble, for about $1 billion. And then I took a little bit of time off and started Rally about 2.5 years ago. So I've been kind of a serial entrepreneur and technologist, thinking about kind of consumer applications for new technologies for 15 plus years.
So you've obviously been very successful in the Valley. You've had some exits. Tell us a little bit about the need that you saw or the opportunity that you wanted to explore when you were thinking about spinning up Rally.
One of the things I did after selling Kabam was I founded an esports company called Gen G. And so esports, kind of the more narrow definition is you have professional players that play video games and they compete with other professional players at the very highest level all around the world. And so we compete in League of Legends, Overwatch, Fortnite, Valorant today, and NBA 2K, and a number of other esport games. And our players are, especially the young ones that just enter the professional scene, they're sort of these up and coming talent. And especially because Gen G was set up to be global. So we have players in China, we have players in Korea, we have players in the United States. I saw these players and the enormous fan bases that these players had, and how hard it was for them to monetize and their fandom, their brand, their newfound popularity. And part of that was currency exchanges. Part of that was ad deals and sponsorships, and difficulty of navigating all of that on a global marketplace. And so one of the insights was working with a number of these esport athletes, as well as streamers, professional Twitch streamers, and seeing just how difficult it was for them to monetize their online content and enormous fan bases that they were starting to build up. And so Rally was really founded with this idea that how do we leverage this emerging new technology of cryptocurrency to enable people with large audiences to monetize that brand. And I think crypto, which a lot of practitioners call internet money, has a lot of unique properties that enable a content creator to monetize their brand and create a digital economy around themselves that is truly unique and really situated you're best situated for the internet, where you may have an esports game, a Twitch stream, a Discord channel, a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel that may have millions and millions of followers all around the world, and enables a creator to monetize that brand in a really effective way.
Yeah, this is really interesting. And I think for people who are maybe over 30 or don't have teenage kids, the popularity of esports is just something that's absolutely immense. And understanding, for people who may not be familiar, the idea that you could have some of the top players in the esports space that have enormous global fan bases. And so effectively you have these people who you have creators who are the gamers, and you have the fans out there. And it's about understanding how people can interact and connect with their creators or their gamers.
That's right. I think there's something very special about any internet content, because number one, you probably, I don't know what the audience metrics look like for Real Vision, but I would guess that you have dozens of viewers and audience and fans from dozens of different countries around the world.
Yeah,
and at the same time, those fans, the super fans, are probably interested in getting access to certain types of content or getting access to you, Ash, in kind of unique ways that isn't just somebody who's been following the show for years may have special interest to interact directly. And how do you do that? How does the internet enable that type of access while also creating new forms of monetization opportunities? And I think that's what we're starting to see with this kind of new passion economy or creator economy, is kind of new forms of monetization that are above and beyond just simple advertising that's placed by a YouTube or a podcast platform.
Yeah. One of the things I should say is that while esports may play a very special role in this space, because in many cases it was the first use case or the first user story, this is something that's been generalized far beyond that. It's anyone who creates content of any kind. And I think that's an important point for people to realize. And one other quick point for people who don't know, Twitch is a streaming channel where people watch esports. You can basically have the gamers interacting with their fans, and Discord is a platform that's very much like a corporate instant messenger or something like WhatsApp, but it's specialized. It has a very large audience in the esports community.
Mm-hmm. And to give you some context for some of your listeners, some of the top esports players are now making, just from their professional contracts with their teams, are now making upwards of, probably the top player in the world makes about $5 million a year. In addition to the contract that they have with their team, they would go onto a Twitch, they would go onto a Huya, they would go onto a Tencent platform, they go onto some of the platforms that are native to Southeast Asia, and they would make, in some cases, $10 million plus just in advertisements from their stream placed by the platform. So in the US, you would expect names like Mr. Beast and a few other big YouTubers and Twitch streamers like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect. These are all people who are making close to 10 million plus dollars in terms of just the advertisements that are being run across their channel.
Right.
And my argument for in terms of when you have that type of brand, when you have that type of influence, we've seen some other types of traditional celebrities, create beauty products, right? So take oh man, the name is escaping me right now, but plenty of female, stars have launched their own beauty product lines or fashion lines. And these are kind of ways that you can use that brand that you have in this global fan base to monetize in a direct fashion, as opposed to running whatever, ad a big tech platform wants to run across your stream. And this is how kind of this new generation of influencers and celebrities and athletes are really starting to monetize. It's not just advertisements that are run programmatically across their channel, but a direct connection to the fan base, and that fan who may want to spend $100, $1,000, $10,000 buying fashion, beauty products, etc. And that's now being more generalized to create different types of digital goods and services and interactions that really any content creator can use to monetize a global fan base across the internet.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto. It's 100% free. Sign up now.